Well, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Tractors and Such. So, I got another project here. This is a John Deere M. This was my great-great-grandpa's, so it ain't been started in a couple of years. I think it was about 5 years, I've been told. So let's do some assessing. I done took the hood off to make it easier to work on. It's a 2-cylinder gas. Let's look in the gas tank. Don't know if y'all can see it, but it's not bad in there. It's pretty clean. It ain't rusty in there. It's just the filler neck that you see a little rust in. Got the cap off. It's got green coolant in it. Wow. And it's clean, so that's a very good sign. Just ain't gonna do much, but it's enough to see if it'll run. Let's see what we got for oil. It's in the safe mark. It don't smell like gas, so that's a good sign. Steering moves. Throttle linkage moves. All the tires were flat, so we aired them up. I know I'm going to have to replace that tire because it's got a hole in it, but it's still got the tube in it, so we'll cross that bridge when we get to that point. And the back tires, this wheel is alright. This tire I believe would be alright, but the wheel is gone, so I'm going to have to find a new wheel or a good used one, because it's leaking all that I believe it's that calcium, or well, that's why it's leaking out. What they put in there for weights, and for what I'm going to do with this, I don't need that. It's got a fancy seat on it. I give that a 5-star rating. So far everything looks good on this, vital signs wise. All the fluids are there, and I'm going to take these plugs out just cause they're easy to get to. Well, I got the hood off, so why not? It's hard to cross the firing order on these because the firing order is 1, 2, and it's a 2-cylinder tractor. So I remember this one with the loop was on the front, and this one that's straight is on the back. So let's take a plug out. That broke loose. Looks fine to me. I'm going to clean that up on the wire wheel. That's the front cylinder. Paul is mowing right now, so I apologize for the lawnmower sound. Plugs look fine to me. I'm just going to clean them up and put them back in. Good enough. Okay, so I'm going to get a battery and put a battery in it. I'm just going to put a 12-volt battery in it, because that's what I've got. Alright, so I got a battery shoved in here. Let's see what'll happen. Alright, starter motor cranks over the motor pretty well. So now I'm going to hook up an ignition type system and see if we can get some spark out of her. Okay, I got a wire jump from the positive terminal of the battery to right here where it goes to the ignition coil. Alright, let's see if we get anything. No spark. Let's see if we're getting spark to the distributor. No, we're not. So let's take the cap off and clean the points. I'll probably just take this off since it's just a 2-cylinder. I'll just take the plug wires off. Also, make it easier. Alright. Well, we got a corroded cap. Not surprised. You'll have that. We may be stopped here today because this rotor is rusty. I'll try my best to clean that up and see if we can get some fire out of her. If not, I'll have to order a cap and rotor. There's your dust cover. Probably wouldn't hurt to replace the gasket or just replace it in general. And we've got the points here. So, and they look pretty corroded. So I'm going to get a sandpaper and sand them. Alright, I got a screwdriver. I got a piece of sandpaper. So I'm going to stick the piece of sandpaper in here. And just do that a couple of times. Let me put power back to the coil and see if we're getting spark to the points. Alright, so either right there or right there we'll have spark. You can see. I need to go hook up the coil wire. Alright, I've accomplished something. So if I stick my screwdriver in here, I can see spark coming out there. So I need to figure out how this cam on the distributor rotates, because I've never worked on a John Deere before. And it's a weird cam. It's got a lump, then it stays flat all around. It's got another lump. So let me figure out how I set a points gap on this. Alright, let's see if we got some spark now. We've got some spark now. So I guess I'm going to attempt to clean this rotor button and the cap. Alright, if you look down here, you should see some spark. If we've now got spark, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, so I'm going to put the plugs in. I'm going to grab some starting fluid and see if it'll run. Alright, Paul finally got done mowing. So now he's going to spray some starter fluid in it. Alright, go ahead.
Done.
Okay, so it's the next morning. And we've done pushed this tractor out and pressure wash it. It looks a whole lot better. Got all that moss off. And it shows the green underneath all that oil. So I done been to town today. Done picked up a lot of parts, of course. Picked up a settling bulb because that one's cracked. Got some spark plugs. I got a cap. Got a coil with an internal resistor because I'm going to get rid of that resistor that's on it. I don't know if I'll use this or not on it. I got a card gasket. And I got a rotor button with the points and condenser set. And I got a new, well, this came with the tractor, a manifold because the other one's cracked and it's broke. And I got a set of gaskets for it. So I'll put that on this. So I guess the first thing I'll do is I'll put that manifold on it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this, loosen the bolts. I thought about taking the carb off with the manifold, but I'm going to take this carb off anyways. And I had to loosen all the lines and cables. Alright, old manifold's off. I got a chisel here. I'm just lightly scraping the old gasket material off. I ain't gonna hurt it. You ain't gonna gouge it. Just do it lightly and everything will be fine. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna anti-seize these bolts. Right here. Just put a little on the threads here. I'm going to do that to the rest of these bolts. And I did put a little grease around where the intake seats on the gasket, same as on the new intake manifold. Or new manifold on the intake port. Well, we got the new manifold on, and I thought about taking the carb apart and clean it, but it's got throttle shaft play, and the carb kit I have does not have a throttle shaft in it, so I'm not going to take the carb off, or take the carb apart, because I don't want to waste a carb kit in it, and then I'm going to need a throttle shaft because it's got throttle shaft play. So I'm just going to put this on it. It won't stop us from at least trying to run it. I blew in this hole upside down and the needle dust seat, or it at least closes, because I cannot blow through it. But if you flip it up like this, you can blow through it. So that means the needle dust will work, supposedly. But I had a carb gasket that came with the manifold, so I'll use it. Well, that gasket wouldn't work, so I just stole the one off the old intake, the old manifold. So alright, so I put a new settling bulb on it, and I got the carb throttle hooked up. I just got it temporarily put in place because I'm going to eventually have to take this carb off and rebuild it. So I'm going to hook up my ignition wire. I'm going to see if this thing will run. Alright. Okay, so we know it runs. It don't run well because I have to go through the carb, but it does run. And the hydraulics do work on this. We just used to lift. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on here, start it, and just make sure that it moves forward and backwards. That's all I need to know. And that will tell you if the clutch works or not. I know the clutch works, I know it'll pull itself, and I know it'll go into gear. So now we're going to do some stuff to make it better. Like doing some wiring work and replacing some ignition components. And I'm going to get a carb rebuild kit with a throttle shaft. So I think the first thing I need to do is take this dash panel out. It's held in by a screw there, here, and here. Alright. I'm scared to try and turn these. Well, that came right off. About this one. Well, you gonna be wanting fixed? That's good. Well, I got everything in the dash figured out, I believe, so I put it back together. Now I'm going to go ahead and replace some of these, or both of these battery cables. Okay, so Paul's going to be replacing the ignition coil on this with a internal resistor coil. And I'm going to be replacing the points and condenser. Alright, so I got the point set. So now I'm going to have Paul over here turn it until it gets on its highest position. Alright, that's good.
I'm taking the battery cable off.
Alright. No, we might as well leave it on. I gotta see if it'll spark. Not start, but spark. Alright.
Turn what part? How many clicks on this?
One click. Let me get the wire in before you light me up. Go ahead.
Now you want me to crank it?
Crank it. Okay. We got spark. Healthy spark.
Alright.
Alright, turn the ignition off. Alright, I'm putting the dust cover back on it. And I'm putting the rotor on it. New rotor. It's got a notch. You can't mess it up. Just sets on there. And there's your cap. It only goes on one way. You can't mess it up neither. Alright. I'm replacing spark plugs. Alright, so what I'm putting in this is 2 Autolite 2/16. That's as tight as you want them. You don't want them too tight because they're just a spark plug. Okay, I'm just now replacing, or not, just putting them back on, these plug wires. I'm going to order some better plug wires that are for this. But this is what I've got right now. We did replace the coil. We put a little hose clamp on it to keep it, because it's still sliding no matter how tight you tighten that. So yeah, I think we're going to call it a day here, and I will come back to this in a few days. Alright, it's been a couple of days since I've touched this, and I spent more money on it. I got a radiator cap for it, and we got a muffler for it, and I also got a carb kit with a throttle shaft in it, so I'm going to take that apart and fix that. Alright, so let's begin by taking this car apart. I need a better screwdriver. There's a fly in here. Just typical. Ooh, how in the world did that even run? This is good. Ain't no, it's not leaking. There's your needle. The needle actually seated in this, but I'm going to replace it just while I got a new one. Carb gas, and that gasket's still good. I'm going to keep that. Take the stovepipe out. Got a lot of this junk built up in here, though. That's a lot of it, which could be a factor also of why it would not run right. I'm going to tear it completely down, and I'm going to go from there. Funny that it ran like this. I counted this as 1.5 turns out. Jet out right here. And this top part is completely stripped down. Got the throttle shaft in, I got the carb cleaned up as best as we can. You don't have, just has very little play, and that's what most of them's got, is very little play. So we're doing our best here. You got your seat. Alright, I set this turn right here 1 turn out. That's what it says in the instructions to do. Alright, so you can see bottoming out, turn it to the right all the way until you can't turn it, but don't force it, just gently turn it. Now I want to back it out a turn, so that's a half and that's a full turn. So now this thing is ready to be back on the tractor. Well, I'm just going to show you that we're not perfect people. I forgot to put the stovepipe in. Alright, I got the stovepipe in. Alright, so let's start it here. I got the throttle set up a little bit. I have it choked. Got the ignition. We got that wired in. So we got the ignition working. So now let's crank it. Letting her warm up for a minute. Well, that ain't good. Well, it died. I think I know what's wrong with it. I'm going to take a break and let it cool off. I think I know what's wrong with it. I think I need to adjust the float in the carb because it is using all of its own, it's using all of its gas before it could all get there. So I'm going to take that carb back off and see if I can adjust the float in it. Well, I've adjusted the float on the carb. I mean, what a sweetheart. It's been sitting here for at least 5 minutes running, and it's running well. I'm going to have to replace the valve cover gasket, but luckily, I have one. I might do that tomorrow. I'm going to drive this thing or see if I can drive it. Let me put some air in this tire. we're going to end it here with the first video of the John Deere, of getting it running and driving. We done did some stuff to it, but that'll be in another video. So thank you all for watching this video of tractors and such. Please consider to like and subscribe. And now going with Paul with the devotion.
Devotion today is Genesis chapter 23, beginning at verse 17. The Word of God says, "And the field of Ephraim, which was in Machpelah, which was before Mamre, and the field, and the cave which was therein, and all the trees that were in the field, that were in all the borders round about, were made sure unto Abraham for possession in the presence of the children of Heth, before all that went in at the gate of his city. And after this Abraham buried Sarah his wife in the cave in the field of Machpelah, before Mamre. The same is Hebron in the land of Canaan. And the field and the cave that is therein were made sure unto Abraham for a possession, for a burying place by the sons of Heth." Thank you for watching Kate's video today. See you on the next one.